climate change is a global challenge which will require an international solution. No single country will be able to tackle climate change on its own. Singapore cannot go it alone. To mitigate the global climate threat, we need a strong global response. All countries, big and small, must join hands to do their part. As a responsible global citizen, Singapore too will play our part as part of a larger international solution. This is why we are a strong advocate for a robust, multilateral, rule-based approach to addressing climate change. Although we contribute to only 0.1% of global emissions, we have and we will continue to push the envelope on climate ambition, taking into account our constraints. We have been playing an active role to sustain the momentum for global climate action, whether at the annual conference of the parties, to the UNFCCC, or by supporting fellow small states and developing countries to build capacity, implement and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Singapore was one of the first few countries, in fact, to ratify the Paris Agreement, which enabled its early entry into force. As a signatory to the Paris Agreement, we have pledged to peak our emissions at 65 million tons of CO2 equivalent around 2030 and aspire to halve emissions from its peak to 33 million tons by 2050. We will seek to achieve net zero emissions as soon as viable in the second half of the century. As members has highlighted, we do not make commitments lightly because we have every intention to make this commitment a reality. After deliberation, we have made several enhancements to our NDC, including a clear peaking target and detailed implementation efforts. Given our circumstances, these targets are challenging and ambitious, yet credible. For example, even if we were to put solar PVs on every single rooftop on our HDB estates, we would still need to rely on natural gas for our electricity needs unless there are breakthroughs in needle-moving technologies like low-carbon fuels such as hydrogen or low-carbon solutions like CCUS. We consulted widely, and our strategies strike a careful balance between all stakeholders, individuals, businesses, green groups, and academia. Many of them recognize the constraints and trade-offs that we have to work with and appreciate that we back our ambition with concrete targets and action. We will take a serious, hard look at our emissions and continue to transform our industry, economy, and society. To achieve deep emissions cuts, we will need to draw on technologies that are still nascent today and pursue international and regional collaboration. We have to rely heavily on cross-border collaboration, such as regional electricity grids and the establishment of a robust international carbon market with high environmental integrity. These are long-term strategies. Over time, we will gain experience and better understand the extent to which potential emissions reductions can be realized. This will help us further calibrate our actions to achieve positive climate impact.